Welcome to this session of Redesign the Undergraduate Experience, Planning Processes and Models, Planning Teams. In the previous session, Planning Processes and Implementation Models, Roadmaps to Success, I described how planning models can be used as roadmaps to guide campus leaders as they work to redesign or rebuild campus curricula, programs, and services. Most planning models are organized into a series of stages. Each stage focuses on achieving distinct and specific goals and desired outcomes. As the goals, strategies, and desired outcomes for each stage change, so may the makeup of the project team. In this session, we will examine key principles for selecting and organizing team members. A successful planning process is typically organized and initiated by a senior executive in the organization who is ultimately responsible for the planning process. This person is known as the sponsor for the project. It is important for this individual to provide executive-level support to drive the planning process through all stages of planning. It is also important that this individual has the power and authority to allocate essential resources to the planning. This individual, with the input of others, selects the senior guiding team. The senior guiding team is the architect of the planning process and remains relatively intact throughout the entire project. They develop the vision for the project and set the strategy and has the influence and authority to make the decisions necessary to assemble the resources needed to make the planning process successful. The team is also responsible for maintaining momentum for the project by continually communicating with key stakeholders. The senior team also resolves conflicts, overcomes barriers, and clarifies priorities. Large change efforts may require multiple senior team members. If the senior planning team acts like an architect of the planning process, the field planning teams act like subcontractors for the initiative. They are highly respected and credible professionals responsible for leading and managing critical areas of the initiatives. Examples include redesigning the curriculum, reconfiguring IT and information systems to support the curriculum, hiring or retaining personnel, or rebranding marketing and recruiting material. Field planning teams are responsible for rolling out the vision of the project to key stakeholders in their area and guiding the initiative to completion. These team members also make sure supervisors and managers complete tasks on time and according to design. Thus, a successful planning process is typically organized and initiated by a senior executive in the organization who is ultimately responsible for the planning process. This sponsor selects and directs a senior guiding team who is responsible for developing the vision for the project, establishing the strategy, and allocating the resources. The field teams are responsible for executing and managing critical aspects of the project or initiative. To promote the success of any campus initiative, it is important to select the right team members to organize and lead the process. There are so many factors that may influence the decision, but a couple key principles to consider include: 1. Identify and describe the essential skills and expertise required to successfully complete the project. 2. Select team members who have the competence and skills to make successful contributions to the project, whether it's in leadership, technical expertise, institutional knowledge, or ability to organize and manage teams and resources. It is critical to include team members whose roles and responsibilities are connected to the desired outcomes of the project. These individuals can inform the team about the problems, challenges, and ways of working, which can help the team make informed decisions. These individuals may also be able to provide appropriate influence and decision-making authority that can help to secure buy-in, agreement, and compliance from others. Another aspect of selecting team members is to select individuals who have the trust of others, which may include faculty, staff, administrators, and even members of the Board of Trustees, and who also have a reputation for being able to work well with others. Leaders must be mindful of the day-to-day demands of campus personnel and be realistic as they select individuals who have the time, energy, and bandwidth to contribute to the project. Considering team members' availability and workload is essential to supporting the successful completion of the project or initiative. To mitigate these risks of unnecessary delays and loss of momentum, it might be appropriate for team members who possess critical skills essential to the project to be awarded release time or adjustments in their workload. It is also important to consider the motivation and passion an individual brings to the project. Ideally, it is best to select an individual who is motivated to see the successful completion of the project and has the energy, skill, and commitment to make a positive contribution to the project. Unfortunately, it is not uncommon to have team membership determined by either a vote by the faculty or administrators appointing individuals who do not fully support the project or initiative or have the trust of the key stakeholders. Finally, it is essential to establish and clarify team members' roles, responsibilities, and level of authority. In conclusion, a critical aspect of organizing and leading campus-wide initiatives is to select team members who have the competence, trust, reputation, availability, and authority to make significant contributions to the project. These team members can lead and manage campus-wide initiatives through all stages of planning, from the initial kickoff through and to the evaluation stage. In the concluding session of this series, I will summarize the key principles, concepts, and strategies described throughout the series, Redesigning the Undergraduate Experience, Planning Models and Processes.